Have you ever wondered why no matter how much you achieve, acquire, or experience, your mind still whispers, "It's not enough"? Why happiness feels like a mirage, just out of reach, and when you get there, it's already gone? You're not alone. This isn't your fault. This is the design of the mind, untrained, unaware, unsatisfied. The Buddha saw this more than 2,500 years ago. He called it Dukkha, the subtle and constant dissatisfaction of the human mind. Welcome to Clarity Mind. In this journey, we'll dive into the deep psychology of why your mind is never satisfied. We'll uncover the hidden trap, how desire, craving, and clinging keep you locked in cycles of suffering. And most importantly, we'll explore how the Buddha taught us to break free. This is not just philosophy. It's a path, a way to see clearly, a way to live peacefully. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Root of Restlessness, Understanding Dukkha. The Buddha's first noble truth was simple, yet profound. Life involves dukkha. But what is dukkha? Most translations say suffering, but that's too narrow. Dukkha is dissatisfaction, discontent. It's the gnawing feeling that something's missing even when life seems good. Even pleasure has dukkha because it doesn't last. Even success has dukkha because it breeds fear of loss. Even love has dukkha because it clings. So why is the mind restless? Because it misunderstands the nature of reality. It believes things should last, pleasure should be permanent, control is possible. But reality is, impermanence rules all. No experience stays the same. Nothing can truly be held onto. The mind wants stability in a world that is always changing. And this mismatch between how things are and how we want them to be is the root of dissatisfaction. The Buddha saw this trap, and he taught not to escape life, but to understand it, to see clearly the nature of the mind. Only then can restlessness begin to dissolve. Chapter 2. Craving, the engine of unsatisfaction. At the core of dukkha is tanha, craving. Craving is not desire alone. Craving is attachment to desire. It's the feeling that says, "I must have this to be happy." There are 3 types of craving the Buddha described: kama tanha, craving for sense pleasures, the sweetness of food, the thrill of touch, the beauty of forms. Harmless, not quite, because we become dependent on conditions. Bhava tanha, craving for becoming, the hunger to be someone, to be admired, to achieve. Even the spiritual seeker can fall into this craving enlightenment itself. Vibhava tanha, craving for non-existence, the wish to escape, to numb, to disappear. Addiction, depression. This too is craving. Each craving pulls us into action. Each promise of happiness leads to a fleeting high, followed by the low. It's a cycle. The more you feed it, the more it grows. The Buddha compared it to drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Real freedom, he said, is not found by fulfilling craving. It's found by understanding it, seeing it arise, watching it pass, without being its slave. When we stop running toward or away from experiences, a stillness is born. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Me, How the Ego Fuels the Trap. The Buddha taught that the deepest root of suffering is not outside of us, but within. It is the illusion of a fixed, separate self. We say, I want, I feel, I suffer. But who is this I? The Buddha said, there is no permanent self. What we call me is a collection of ever-changing processes: body, sensation, perception, thoughts, consciousness. These are the 5 aggregates, Pancha Skandha. They arise and pass moment to moment like clouds in the sky. But the mind clings to them. It says, this is me, this is mine. And that is the trap. When we identify with thoughts, every insult becomes personal. When we cling to feelings, every pain becomes unbearable. When we see the body as me, every wrinkle becomes a tragedy. But the Buddha offered a radical insight. This is not mine. This I am not. This is not myself. Freedom arises not by fixing the ego, but by seeing through it. Not by becoming more, but by becoming less, less entangled, less reactive, more spacious, more aware. When the illusion of self loosens, dissatisfaction begins to fade, because there is no one left to be dissatisfied. Only awareness remains. Chapter 4. The cycle of becoming: how samsara traps the mind. Why does the mind keep chasing? Why, even after insight, do we find ourselves falling back into patterns? Because the mind is caught in samsara, the endless cycle of becoming. The Buddha taught a profound formula called paticca samuppada, dependent origination. At its core, ignorance, craving, clinging, becoming, birth, suffering, death. And the cycle repeats. This isn't just about physical reincarnation. It happens moment to moment. Every time we cling to a thought, we give birth to a new identity. Every time we crave a feeling, we become trapped in that loop. And every loop leads to dissatisfaction. Samsara is not a place. It's a process driven by not seeing things as they are. But here's the key. The cycle can be interrupted with mindfulness, with insight, with the Noble Eightfold Path. Each step: right view, right intention, right speech, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, acts like an antidote. Not to control life, but to understand it. Not to suppress desire, but to see its emptiness. When wisdom arises, samsara loses its grip, and peace, true peace, takes its place. Chapter 5. The Path to Peace. Living beyond the trap. So how do we live in this world, yet not be trapped by it? The Buddha offered not just diagnosis, but medicine. Not just truth, but a path. It is called the middle way. The path between indulgence and suppression. And at its heart is the Noble Eightfold Path. Right view. Seeing life through the lens of impermanence, not self and suffering. Right intention. Cultivating renunciation, goodwill, and harmlessness. Right speech. Speaking truthfully, kindly, and meaningfully. Right action. Living ethically with compassion. Right livelihood. Earning without harm. Right effort. Abandoning unwholesome states and cultivating the wholesome. Right mindfulness. Watching the body, feelings, thoughts, and dharmas. Right concentration. Developing deep meditative absorption. This path isn't a belief. It's a practice. a way of training the mind bit by bit. As craving is seen, it weakens. As impermanence is understood, clinging dissolves. As ego is questioned, spaciousness arises. And from that spaciousness, satisfaction is born. Not because life is perfect, but because the mind has stopped demanding it to be. This is not resignation, it is liberation. The Buddha once said, "Just as the ocean has one taste, the taste of salt, so too, my teachings have one taste, the taste of freedom." Let your life taste of that freedom. Your mind may still whisper, "Something is missing." But now you know the truth. That whisper is just a habit, a mirage in the desert. You are not your craving. You are not your restlessness. You are not your dissatisfaction. You are the awareness that sees, and that awareness is already free. This is Clarity Mind. Thank you for walking this path. May you be happy. May you be at peace. May your mind find its rest. Until next time, keep walking gently. The Buddha's wisdom is not far away. It lives in your breath, in your seeing, in this very moment.